and get the light bulbs at YouTube glowing, which should be any day now, maybe even sooner than a day, who knows. Okay, I love the way that drops off before I can get the link. That's just superb technology, really good. Okay, so I think we're almost there. Just gonna bob that in there. We'll get the light bulbs at YouTube. That's good. Okay, what we haven't done, of course, is set the output of the doofy flip. There we go. Let's get the doofy flip happening. There we go. Because we're on the wrong slide. That's not even the right way, baby. There we go. There we go. There's a few technical things going on there. Right, so let me just post that link in. Okay, let me just change that from that to that, because that's no help at all. Okay, that looks good. I don't know what I'm then. I missed a thing at the end? No. Okay, I had a preview and then it went. Oh, hang on, it's supposed to have. Oh, heavens. Okay, hang on. Facebook doesn't pick up the BE link and it needs a big link. Okay. I think that's it. There we go. Okay. Right, let's just post that if that wasn't in the way, which of course it is. But there we go. Okay, so we should be off. And only 1 minute past. Fantastic. It's almost like we're getting better at this. Okay, so today's show is about something. Probably about more than something. Let me just get my notes in front of me. Right, so welcome to, I should probably start that a bit better. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to The Real You, show number 24. Tonight's episode is about your purpose, but more than that, the difference between being busy and being fulfilled. And if that wasn't enough, what does winning look like? What does winning have to do with being fulfilled or being busy and your purpose? It's all questions we'll probably ask in tonight's show. I said ask, not answer. Yeah, I probably did, because I'm probably just going to ask them. I don't know if I'm going to answer them. But let's ask them together and see what we come up with. So, right, yes. So the problem with this is you can say to people, might not be you, but I could say to somebody, what's your life purpose? And they know that they should have one, and they know that they've probably got one, but they may not know exactly what that is right now. So it becomes a super massive question, which is a huge problem because they don't know the answer. And they feel that they should know the answer. Let me just turn the fan off because it's going to make weird noise. There we are. And then it becomes depressing. So instead of being a kind of a helpful, kind of thing, like, hey, how's your life purpose going? They haven't got one, and so they're going to get, depressed and angry and miserable and hate you and things like that. But, of course, we all kind of think that probably we should have one. Probably. Or we should get one. Or, go down the shops and pick one up. Maybe they do them in tins. A life purpose, please, purveyor of things. Sounds like a Monty Python sketch, doesn't it? But anyway, so it's a serious problem. It's a serious problem because if somebody asks you the question and you don't know the answer, it's kind of painful. So I think what a lot of people do is they make themselves busy so that they never have to ask or answer the question. Okay, and being busy is okay. It's a distraction. Obviously, you're busy, so you're not bored, and you're doing something, so you feel you must be, on the right track because you're doing something, and you're super busy, and it's not like you had any time to do anything else because you're so busy. Okay, but the trouble with being busy, if you haven't noticed, is it's not fulfilling. And that's a pain in the bottom again. So you can be busy and not be fulfilled. You can be, what's the opposite of busy? You can be bored and not be fulfilled. You can be lazy and not be fulfilled. All sorts of, actually any sort of emotion, and you can not be fulfilled. So, is fulfillment about life purpose or is fulfillment about something else? That's a question that's just come out of my head. I don't know the answer to that, really, exactly. So I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. You can type in the little chat thing, whether the show's ended or right now live, and I will check in 1 second. So, what do I think is being fulfilled about having a life purpose? Yeah, kind of. At least it wasn't. It depends. So we'll come to what winning looks like in a minute. So what is our life purpose? Okay, easy questions first. We've kind of covered this, on other shows, but just to summarize it now, it's about enjoying the journey. Okay? And the only thing I want to caveat to that is not at someone else's expense. Okay, so if the only way you can be happy is to make somebody else miserable, that's not good enough. That's not going to be acceptable. And I won't let you do that. But other than that, it's enjoying the journey. What does enjoying the journey entail? Well, it entails enjoying. So that's good. We got that bit easy and right and everything, didn't we? So that was good. Okay, but here's some more slightly deeper ideas. So one of them is definitely about enjoying. So you've got that one covered. So if you know what you enjoy, then you're off to a flying start. Okay? As I say, the only caveat is it's not at somebody else's expense. But enjoying. And then what makes things enjoyable is basically probably at some point going to be sharing with other people. So, even as a recluse and a loner and somebody who doesn't really like people very much, I'm afraid I have to admit that to some extent, at least, sharing with other people is important. And then there's another thing, which I was told by some psychologist or something, was that the other thing that we want is this weird thing I think it's weird, called purpose. And what on earth does purpose mean? So, to some people that would mean, something bigger than themselves. Okay, and that can take on many forms. That could be God, that could be nature, that could be universal energy, that could be something, a cause that you believe in. It could be, simply, right and wrong, being on the side of right. So purpose could mean, a lot of things. And I'm going to leave that one to you for the minute, because, we've only got like 30 minutes or something. So, what you find purpose in, is down to you. Okay, and to some extent, we could even, possibly forget the purpose, so long as we've ticked the enjoying box, because enjoying could be your purpose. I think normally there's going to be something much bigger than that. So, but I can't answer what's the purpose in your life right now. Maybe I'll try that tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe not. But anyway, but you find that out. But we know that we need to enjoy ourselves, and we know that sharing is important. So that's covered. And again, it may not be that we even know who these people are that we need to share with yet. They might be people we're yet to meet. Okay, so don't freak out over that. It could just be that you've not managed to surround yourselves with the people that matter to you, that you want to share your enjoyment with. Okay, so I don't think we need to freak out over that particularly. So as I say, purpose I live to you. Sharing, we either have or we don't have those people in our lives right now, but we can get them, can find them, and enjoying we know is the main, purpose. So what's missing in this equation for your purpose? Well, actually, your purpose is going to be that one, I guess. But being fulfilled rather than busy. Okay, and I think it's this. So that shocked you, didn't it? You didn't think I had an answer for this, did you? Neither did I. But I think I've just found one. Well, let me just check to see what you think. Okay, because you can comment. Where are we? The right thing's not at the top. Hang on. Let me just do YouTube while we're in here. What do you think is your purpose in life? As I say, easy questions tonight. Hang on, why isn't that working? Oh, it's not playing, that's why. Yeah. So let me just put that question here if I can find the right thing. Okay, so fulfillment, purpose in life, all that jazz. Let's try and find an answer. So, it's I'm going to kind of take this analogy from the business world, and when you go into business, basically there's a question that you ask yourself at some point, which is, I am the what guy. In other words, what are you synonymous with? What's when somebody wants to solve a particular problem, and they think of you, that's kind of the connection. You're the that guy. Okay, and I think that can apply equally in life, because that could be your community, your relationships, your family, your friends, your hobbies. You're the who guy. What do you stand for? What do you represent? Who do people think of when they turn to you? I've probably got that question the wrong way around, but you know what I mean. You're the who guy. You're the what guy. What is the what? So, and as I say, I think we can do that in life as well. And I think the biggest thing, well, yeah, the way that we do that in business is that we specialize, and basically to specialize, we go deep rather than wide. Okay, and I think that and I've mentioned this before, and I think this is a big problem with life in general, in that in that we're kind of encouraged and conditioned for instant gratification to try lots of things for very short times, and all that kind of thing. Hang on, that's not how we specialize, is it? Still didn't work. So we're kind of conditioned to be ADD kind of thing, live this overwhelmed instant gratification life, and kind of just taste a little bit of everything and not really get to know anything really deep. And I've found personally, and I hope it will be the same for you, and I expect it to be the same for you, is that when you go deep, it becomes more fulfilling. Basically because you start to understand and appreciate stuff. Okay, so I'll give you a stupid example. Well, it's not that stupid, but I'll give you an example which isn't exactly earth-shattering. So, I went on my walk on Easter, and I passed a tree, and it was a pretty tree. As trees go, because it wasn't just leaves; it was kind of flower blossom tree of some sort, and they were white, blossoms. And that could have been it. That could have been all I thought about that tree. Okay, and then I'd have moved on to the next tree. But I decided that tree was a bit special because no other tree was like it. Okay, all the other trees were, well, not necessarily. I mean, most of the other trees were leaves. Some of the other trees had, purple blossom, but it was not, they were small, petals or whatever they're called, and that sort of thing. So, on the way back, I decided that I would photograph the tree. And when I tried to photograph the whole tree, I couldn't capture the essence of the tree. It just looked like a twig, pretty much. So I had to kind of zoom in and get closer and and try and do that. And and that was a lot better. But even then, I still couldn't really capture the tree. So on another day, I actually took a camera rather than my phone camera, and I was able to to really zoom in and do a close up, and that captured a lot more of the essence of the tree. But still, it wasn't really the essence of the tree. Okay, and what was missing was the kind of the scale and the intimacy and the presence of these petal flowers on the tree. So then I started using my digital photography skills, and I kind of zoomed in and framed the bit that I wanted and made that as big as I could make it, so that I could really see the intricacies of the thing. And also the other thing that I realized when I'm looking at it is that I thought nature was in fives. So generally there are 5 leaves on a plant. And strangely, not only were there not 5 flowers in each kind of bunch or bud or whatever we want to call that properly, there were different numbers. So some had 6, some had 3, maybe some had 8. It made no kind of sense. Okay, now that's maybe not the most riveting story in the world, but that's a tree. And it was only when I decided to notice the tree, when I decided to go deeper, when I tried to photograph it and I couldn't get the essence of the tree, and then I'm trying to work out why I can't get the essence of the tree, and then I'm trying to work out why this tree is different and special, and I'm now wondering why it's got flowers instead of leaves, etc., etc., etc. And that's fulfilling. Okay, it's kind of interesting, isn't it? Vaguely interesting. More interesting than watching paint dry, anyway. And that's what I mean about going deep. And that's just, a very simple example. And we kind of do this every day of our lives. We just walk past stuff, not really thinking anything of it. And, quite often for me, it's only when, something's taken away from me that, I appreciate it. Like your health, you think, health's not important. Your health will look after itself. And it's only when you get ill and you can't get cured that you realize, oh shit, I should have looked after myself a bit better. Health was actually quite important. And that's kind of the way, again, we're kind of conditioned to live our lives. So we just walk past stuff. We take stuff for granted. We don't challenge it. We don't ask questions. We don't try and understand it. We don't fully appreciate it. We don't, just kind of get to know and understand, what's going on. And that tree is just a very simple, example. It was like a 20-second moment in my life. But, I've now spent, 5-10 minutes, whatever, thinking and photographing and trying to, capture the essence of that tree. And now that tree is now important to me because, I've noticed it. Okay. Now, notice what I said there. I said, because I've noticed it, it's become important to me. Okay. There's the secret clue. Okay. So when we don't notice stuff, when we don't ask questions, when we don't try and understand, nothing is important. And if nothing is important, there's no purpose. If nothing is important, we're not fulfilled. If nothing is important, you're not the go-to guy for whatever it is. So it's when we drill deep down into, what we're seeing, what we're experiencing, and trying to understand it, that's when it becomes, important. So I can give you another example, a musical example, which is, not going to be that exciting if you're not musical, but a lot of people buy pre-made loops. And so a pre-made loop is basically, it's almost a mini song that somebody else has created. And they're very good and they're very intricate and they sound super professional and all that kind of stuff. And they've got all the bits in them, they've got, or they can have, they've got the drums, the bass, the chords, the melody. And, and usually you get a little kit of a few of them. And, so they can build up and slow down and, break down and get more complicated. And you can kind of chain a song together out of them. So, I came across one today. And if you play, one particular note, you get the idea that the person who designed that sound had, you get the full, thing behind it. So the melody, the rhythm, the harmonies, the choice of sounds and textures, the mood, the pace, the way it develops, is all built into that one key. So it's very empowering because you can put one key down, you're in control, and you can get this massive, beautiful sound coming out. And if that's all we can do, that's kind of, that's what I would call keeping busy. Because the problem with that is creatively, you can either play it or not play it. And you can play its brother or not play its brother. And you can decide, when and how long, but, that's basically all you can do. So what these guys did is they broke this sound, this sample, into a thing called stems. So stems is basically, on different tracks, and you get, instead of one finger, you get 8 fingers on different keys. So each key on the keyboard is a different sound. So one key is the drum beat, or it might even be just the kick drum, another key might be the hi-hat part, and then another key might be the bass line, and then another key might be the chords, and then another key might be the harmony, and so on. And because the sounds are split up on different keys now, you can really break down into the beat and say, well, I want a bit, where there aren't any chords, okay? Or whatever you want to do. So you've got much more, creative control over that. And obviously you could leave bits out and put your own bits in and completely transform it, into different things. And that's called stems. Okay. And again, that's kind of being busy, but, more intricately busy, more busy, I guess we could call it. But then what they did in this particular sample library is that they then broke the 8 keys down into, let's say 20 keys. And each key now was an individual element. So instead of being, the kick drum part, boom, da boom, ba boom, da boom, it was just a single sound, boom. So now you're in complete control and you can write your own drum beat. Okay, now you see how powerful that is and how powerful that can become. And the great thing is you've got the inspiration from the stems and you've got the inspiration from the full version, and you know that what you're hearing is possible from the 20 keys of elements that you have. And then you can learn what it is you like about that, full track, and then you can decide what you want to do differently because you're in control, because now you've got 20 elements that make up the big one fixed element. Okay, so it'd be a lot easier for me to show you this, and maybe in another show I will, but I think you can understand that the full version is being busy, because you have the power to either have it or not have it. And you've got, his brother and sister, and you can do some variations, but we can't go deep. Okay, it's stuck. It's one key is the complete song, basically. The stems, that's more satisfying because now we've got much greater control and we can decide whether things come in and out, when they start and stop, if they're there at all, that kind of stuff. Maybe in a bigger system we can mix and match those as well. And that's satisfying. Okay, but when we have the individual elements on the 20 different keys, and we can create anything, now not recreate, but create anything, but we know the potential of all these elements is there because we've heard a final version. Okay, that's super empowering and super creative because we can create anything now, okay, with those sounds. And that is fulfilling to me anyway, because now I'm in complete control. So really fulfilling is about, I guess, really, let me just put this up here. I think fulfilling, this is the first time I've thought about this. I might change my mind later, but my stab at the dark at the moment is fulfilling is when we can control the outcome. Okay, and I think that's possibly true. That's going to be my best suggestion for tonight, I think. And that's the thing. And if we just buy, TV dinners which are pre-cooked, okay, that's busy. Maybe it's satisfying. It's probably horrible, but maybe it's satisfying. But when we cook ourselves, when we take the ingredients, that is fulfilling. Okay, because we can control the outcome. Okay, it's not just whether we have it or don't have it. It's, we can control nearly everything about it. Okay, so that's what I think fulfilling is. And when you can do something to that degree, okay, now suddenly you're the who guy. You're the guy who can make souffle or whatever it is, or the guy who can make, a new song from these 20 elements. of the guy who, appreciates or knows something about this tree that I've seen. I don't even know what the tree's called at the moment. But, I've taken pictures of it. I'm thinking about it. I'm curious now. I'm curious as to, why it doesn't have, an even number of flowers, petals, whatever it is, on each. I'm going to call them bud because I'm not I don't know the right word. But when all that happens, I think we start to get what is fulfilling, and the fulfilling gives us a purpose, I think. So I don't know if you agree with that or disagree with that. But I think that's a long way towards it. Okay? The perfect answer is probably more complex than that. And look at the fury in that. We have to now dive deeper into what I just said in order to understand it. And when we understand it, and we understand the bits that that are making it up, and which bits are true and not true, and we can challenge and replace things and do whatever. We're in control now of your definition of what you think it is. Now that's suddenly fulfilling because your brain now is in control of putting all the pieces together. It's not a TV dinner anymore. It's actually the ingredients of a beautiful meal. And there can be a recipe, but I guess which would make it satisfying, or you can modify the recipe and make your own recipe, but out of these ingredients, because then you're in control. And when you're in control of the outcome, that's fulfilling. And then when you're fulfilled, that's kind of your purpose. Okay, now it could be that there should be, a bigger purpose. Maybe there should be, something bigger than you, a reason why you're doing it. And as I said, I can't answer that tonight because we've run out of time, and it's something for you to think about. But there is a part of the purpose, at least, if not all of the purpose. There's a part of the purpose in being fulfilled. And and the law of fulfillment, according to me, is that we can go deep, or we'll need to go deep, so that we can control the outcome. And if we can't control the outcome, then we haven't gone deep enough. Okay, isn't that beautiful? So that's what I think. It's part of it. And as I say, that when you can go that deep and you're that fulfilled and you can control the outcome, you become the who guy. So if you want to know about how to create a beautiful photograph, here's Tom. He's created a beautiful photograph, or here's one of the beautiful photographs he's taken. Okay, and now suddenly you own something. You own that recognition from other people. And guess what that is? That's sharing. Okay, so you're enjoying yourself doing it, and you're sharing it with other people. You become the go-to guy for that thing. You become, the example, the thing people have in mind, things people have seen and given you feedback on. And that in itself will give you some purpose. Not the big purpose that we're probably, looking for, but, at least a bit of the purpose. Okay? But that all comes from drilling deep. Okay? That all comes from drilling deep. And the trouble with life is that we don't drill deep enough of the time. We walk past the tree. We accept that we're just going to eat a TV dinner, which is going to be horrible and not nutritious, and probably do all sorts of horrible chemicals, to our body that we ignore, looking after our health, and then we become sick, and then we go, oh dear, I should have sorted that out. I shouldn't have ignored that. I should have gone deeper. I should have looked after myself. I should have, learnt what looking after myself meant, etc., etc. Okay, so that and again, in this situation, in this storm, we are tending to, look from, pillar to pillar, and binge watch show after TV show, instead of, I mean, it's a bit wacky, but instead of creating our own TV show, or instead of discussing why it's important, or instead of thinking why it's important, or thinking why you like it, or understanding, how that story came, how the writers, did it, how the characters are portrayed, So, and again, once we become, and what all the plots mean and all that kind of stuff, and once we get to that level, I'm going to say it proudly, we become the nerd of that thing. But people use nerd as a derogatory word, but really what we mean is nerd means somebody who knows what the hell they're talking about, somebody who actually understands something, somebody who's gone deeper than the superficial, instant gratification, ADHD overload and overwhelm that we're conditioned to experience. So I think that nerd is a great thing, because it means that they know something about something, and that they've invested their time. They've chosen to put their time and energy into that particular thing. It may not be something that we appreciate or like in the same extent. That doesn't matter. Okay, they're not living our lives. They're living their own lives. That's what they've chosen to drill deep into. What we choose to drill deep into is up to us. Okay, but if we just skim the surface all the time, and we're just a wine taster, and we never actually enjoy a full glass of wine with somebody in a special place on a special occasion, then we're really missing out, because we're not going deeper. Okay, and if you get to the point where you can make your own wine, or travel places where there is different types of wine, and you can appreciate the differences in the wine, now you're the wine guy or gal. Okay, you've gone deeper. You've chosen to invest your time and energy into going deeper into that. Okay, and again, it doesn't matter if somebody else has the same interest as you. We should just appreciate that people have taken the effort, to go deeper and to be fulfilled. Okay, because I can assure you that if they're going that deep into something, they're not bored. They're not going to complain that, I'm stuck at home. Okay, they've chosen to go deep, and when they go deep, they get fulfilled, and when they're fulfilled, they have part of the purpose. Okay, not the big purpose, but a bit of a purpose. Okay, but they're not bored if they go deep. When you just skim, from instant gratification to instant gratification, then you get deep. Then you get bored, because it's not fulfilling. Okay, you don't know anything about anything. You just wine tasting forever, never actually enjoying the full glass of wine with somebody on a special event, on a special occasion, in a special place. Okay, that's kind of my point. So that's it. I think that's enough. Let's just see if anyone is saying hogwash. And it doesn't look like you are. Can't really spell fulfillment. No, I still can't spell fulfillment. Actually, I'm sure that's the American spelling, but anyway, we'll live with that. I guess it's one way to spell fulfillment. And there we go. Okay, and yeah, that's it. So I'm going to leave YouTube running, because I don't understand when it ends. That's something I haven't got deep enough into. But I think that's just technical stuff being crap, really. Anyway, so I'm just going to let it run for a little while. And I shall see you next time. Bye-bye for now. And think what your purpose is, and think if you agree that going deep is going to give you fulfillment and some purpose. See you next time. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.